Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back once again to another Minecraft tutorial. I know last Minecraft video I was pretty set on saying that our next tutorial would be a tailor, although a comment came up recommending that we do a hospital. Now, I'm not too certain if back in medieval times they did have hospitals, but given that this is more so a fantasy style, I figured we could probably squeeze something like that in. And I remember back in Witcher 3 they did have a clinic, so I went back into that game, took a look at that, and it was actually quite cool, especially on the interior and whatnot. So we're going to be basing it roughly off of that, but we will be giving it our own little personal touches for the exterior. So we'll see how it turns out. But for those of you wondering how much room you're going to need to fit this entire clinic, it's going to be about 9 by 11 blocks, 9 being the front and back of the build, and then 11 being both sides. Now, to begin, we'll start by adding in our pillars for the first floor, and each of these are going to be 4 blocks tall. And we're going to start by placing our first one here on the left corner. Then we'll skip a gap of 3 and place our second one there. We'll skip one more gap of 3 and place the last one on the front side right here. Now moving on to the right side, this is going to consist of 2 gaps of 3, just like this, and then one little section that's 1 block wide on the very back side. And then on the back end of the build, we're going to have 2 more gaps of 3 separated by that 1 block there in the middle. And on the left side of the build, we'll have that one section in the back, just like on the right side, and then also like over on that end we'll have 2 sections of 3 separated by that 1 block in the middle. Once you have all of your pillars, so they're 4 blocks tall in height, you can start to connect each of them with a cross beam like this that goes all the way around the build. And after you have that wrapped around, you can start to place in some sticky addy bits on the tops of each one of your pillars, just like this. After you have that complete, you can start working on your walls, and as you see here, the door is going to be placed on the right hand side, right there in the middle of the 3 wide gap. And to kind of fill in the rest of the walls, what you'll need to do is start by placing in a row of these stone brick blocks all the way around the bottom layer, and then above that on the other 2 remaining sections, you can just fill that in with your cobblestone. Now for the windows, feel free to place these things wherever you think they look best. You really do not have to go off what I'm doing here. But if you absolutely have to, I'm going to place one here on the front on the left side, and also one on the right side of the building in the middle here, and that's all of them. Once you have those in, you can take out your spruce wood stairs and start placing one of these underneath each one of your sticky addy bits. And in order to finish off the first floor, what you'll need are some stone brick stairs and also a stone brick half slab. Now for the stairs, you're going to place one of these on each one of the bases of every pillar around the build. And for the half slabs, you can place these on tops of the stairs, and also wherever you have a 3 wide gap, I find it looks best if you go one on either side like that. Also, for those of you who maybe didn't get everything down correctly, before we move on to building the second floor, I'll give you guys a quick little fly around here so you can ensure that everything matches up with what you see here. And I'll try and squeeze in here so you can see the left side as well. So there we go. Now for the second floor, we'll start off by beginning over here on this section, kind of in the middle, but it's also a bit more to the right. And what you guys want to do is place 4 pillars of 4, your first one here, second one 3 blocks over, and then do the same exact thing on the other side. And once you've got all of these, so they're 4 blocks tall, you can do the same thing we did for the first floor and connect them each with a cross beam that goes all the way around, and also you can place in those sticky addy bits as well. Next, what we're going to do is start to shape some of our roof, and we're going to begin right here above the doorway. And to start off, you'll place 2 blocks like this on either side, and make sure these are on the sticky addy bit instead of 1 block back right here. You don't want to do that because it's pretty much going to screw up what this looks like in the end. So you'll have those 2, and then also raise it up 2 more, and make sure you kind of go in like I am here, and then place 1 more block on the top to finish that off. And you're also going to want to do the same exact thing over on the back side here on these 2 blocks. After you guys have those 2 done, what we're going to do is start some half roofs, one on the front here and also one on the back right over there. So the front one's going to be a little bit bigger. You'll start here and just go 1, 2, and then 3 right there. Then moving on to the back, all you'll need to do is place 1 block right there. Now for our final roof section, it's really quite simple, and also it's the same exact thing over to the right as it will be on the left. So once you're done seeing how to do this, you should be able to just copy it over onto both sides. So to begin, we'll place 1 block here on the left side and also 1 on the right, and then from there you can just work your way up until you reach the middle, which will be that block, and then go back down on the other side. And just for a bit more decoration, you may want to place one more of those right here in the middle. And like I said, it's going to be the same on this side as it is over on the left. So now just go ahead and build it again. Before we move on though, we still may want to try out one more thing just to make our lives easier when we're placing down the walls and also some of our roofing material. And this step is just to connect everything with the crossbeam like this, and you can do these across the tops of each one of the roofs and also across some of the layers that are farther down like this, and also this one here. And feel free to do these on any of the roofs you see around the build. For the walls, it's really fairly easy. The only thing you really need to remember is you have to fill in above the spruce wood logs, just like this. And I'll go ahead and time lapse the rest of this so you can see exactly where you need to place everything. But before we do that, I thought I'd mention that this really is a lot easier if you do it from the inside, so you can see all the gaps you have to fill in. Alright, so there you guys go. That's basically all of the area you'll need to fill in with your wall material. The rest of it's pretty much all going to be covered by our roof. Next, what we're going to start doing is outlining all of our roof with our spruce wood material, and we'll go ahead and start here on the bottom of the top roof. And from there, you'll place that block and then go one out to the right so it creates a bit of an overhang. And then from there, you can work your way up to the very top and then go back down on the other side. Keep in mind, in the middle there, we are going to add a design similar to what you see up there, but we'll save that for the end. So like I said, once you reach there, you can come up to the middle here and we'll begin our design. And that's going to start with a half slab here, then a full block on top of it, and then a stair that's upside down on the front face of that. And then to finish it off, you can place in a half slab right there. And then before we go on to any of the other roofs, you will want to place in some upside down stairs on each one of these corners here, just to make the roof look a little bit stronger. So once you guys are done outlining the roof on the right side, you'll need to do the same exact thing over here on the left as well, which you can see I've already done. Now, before we move on, we're going to have to add a few minor changes around the build just to fix a few things up. The first one is going to be here on the left side of this roof and also on the right. All we'll need to do is remove these 3 blocks and replace them with this one upside down stair here. And like I said, do the same thing on this side as well. And by doing this, instead of having our little row of stairs on the bottom start here, we're actually going to need to move it 1 block up, and we'll just have it cut across on this row instead. And our second change that we need to add is switching this block here to a spruce wood log, and you can also add a cross beam like this, which I mentioned to do earlier. I should also mention that if you leave these 2 stairs here on either side of the spruce wood log, we're not going to have any room left for our roof material, so we'll have to remove those. But other than that, it should be pretty much perfect. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing here on the front. So go ahead and make a row that comes across there, and also add in 1 more spruce wood stair on the right side as well. Now, before we start outlining this roof here, just note that it is the same as the one on the back, so I'm only going to be showing you how to do one of these. But to start out, you'll place 1 full block, just like this, above the first set of pillars. And just like we did for the top, make sure this is 1 block out so it has a bit of an overhang. But once you've got those 2 down, you can start working your way up using your spruce wood stairs. And then you can go back down on the other side. And like always, don't forget to place in your upside down stairs beneath each of these, along with the full blocks as well. And then you can do 2 more on the left and the right side to kind of complete this. And then in case some of you don't remember how to do the design on the top, once again, it's a half slab, then a full block, then a stair that's upside down on the front face of that, and then another half slab to finish that off. After you guys have both of those outlined, you're probably thinking they look a bit weird, just in the sense that the spruce wood kind of stops right there. So what we're going to do to make this look a little bit better is bring this over 2 on the left side, and for the right, you can carry this all the way over until you reach the other spruce wood pillar. So we'll drag this over, and once you're there, turn the last block sideways, just for a nice little bit of extra design. And for this one, It's pretty much the same as the one on the back, so bring that over too, and then on the right side, once again, drag that all the way over until you reach the other pillar, and then you can go ahead and turn that sideways for a little extra detail. And now for the final set of roof outlines, we're going to begin right here by placing a row of spruce wood stairs all the way across the bottom, and you will need 4 of these here. Once you've placed that 4th one there, you can start to work your way up until you reach the other roof section up here. And to kind of make these fit together nicely, you'll have to switch this one to a full block, and then you can start placing your upside down stairs in each one of the corners here. And after that one's done, we can go ahead and move all the way back to the other side of the building, and we'll begin right here once again, place our 4th one there, and then from that we'll work our way up until we reach the top. And once again, it's going to get a bit awkward right here, so just place that upside down stair and then one more facing that way. And also don't forget to place in at least one upside down stair in that corner there. And I don't think we need this block here, so go ahead and remove that one. Finally, for filling in our roof, I've chosen to use the pink stained clay, but as I've said many times in the past, you guys can use whatever material you like, whether it be a different color clay or even just some wooden blocks if you think those look a bit better. But basically, how you want to do this is fill in all the gaps, and in case some of you maybe still aren't too sure what to do, I will go ahead and time-lapse this so you can see where to place each and every block. And hopefully that should allow most of you, if not all, to get the roof down correctly. After completing that, you'll notice the top of this building looks rather odd, and to fix that, you can take out your spruce wood stairs and spruce wood half slabs. For the stairs, what you'll do is place these facing outwards towards each one of our designs, just like this. And for the half slabs, what I usually like to do is place these in the middle of each one of the roofs. And in this case, I think we may only need one, unless maybe we need to place some here and here, so we can actually end up connecting these roofs up. And by that I mean doing something similar to this. And after you've got that done, you can go ahead and fill in all of the remaining gaps with some stairs. So this is the build so far, and technically you could stop here, but we're going to add a lot more detail around the build, so prepare yourselves. First off, what you guys want to do is take out your spruce wood stairs and place these underneath each remaining sticky-outy bit like that. And also, another thing you can do in the meantime is take out some fences and place these above any sticky-outy bits that happen to be right underneath a roof, just like this. After that's done, I'm going to add in 3 more windows. The first one will be a double one right here on the front. The second one will be that same size over here on the right side. And then we'll place one last one over here on the back of the build as well. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this spot here looks really bad, so I'm going to turn this into a balcony, which should kind of be an added bonus since it will be kind of a cool vantage point that looks out on the city. But anyways, what we're going to do is turn these 4 blocks here into 4 spruce wood full blocks, and we'll also add 3 on the next layer and then 1 right there. Now, the remainder can just be switched into half slabs like this, and then go ahead and place a fence that surrounds the whole thing, and also a little doorway right here. Speaking of doorways, we still need to place an archway above this one so it looks a bit more fancy and whatnot. So to start this, we'll place 2 upside down stairs on either side, and then we'll do 3 half slabs above that like this, and then 1 more right here to top that off. And if all of that detail is still not enough for you guys, we still have a little bit more that we can do. And this first one here is probably the easier out of the 2 that I'm about to show you. And what it will be is just a row of half slabs like this, and then also a row of fences above that. And something like this will also look good over on the left side as well. Like I said, our next detail is going to be a bit more fancy and difficult to make, but some of you have probably seen me do this quite a bit in the past. All it is our basic little flower pot that we usually do, and in order to make this, you'll need a row of grass blocks right below that window there, and then either a row of stairs or half slabs below that should do. And then to kind of close that in, just place in 3 trapdoors just like this. And you can fill this flower pot with either plants or even some cool big vines that drape down like this and just kind of weave around your build. And I'm thinking a flower pot like this would probably look good, obviously in that window, and maybe one here on the back. And you could even do 1 or 2 of these over here on the left side of the build. So that's pretty much it, but I still think this front side here is kind of in need of another window, and it's going to be a bit tricky to squeeze in here, but I feel like in the end it's definitely going to be worth it to have this extra bit of detail. So what we're going to do is replace this block here with a spruce wood log, and we'll also add one 3 blocks away right there. So like I said, there should be 3 blocks there in the middle, and then you can place 2 more like this and 1 more on the top, so it creates kind of a triangle shape, and then go ahead and remove these 6 blocks right there. And I would recommend replacing those bottom 3 with some spruce wood stairs, and then obviously take out the 3 blocks behind it and replace them with your wall material, just like that. Next up, we're going to take our spruce wood blocks out once again, the stairs to be precise, and we'll start outlining this roof. Then once you reach the top, go back down on the other side until you reach right about there. And then, like always, don't forget your upside down stairs. Once that section's complete, we can begin our little design. So it'll start off with a half slab, then a full block, then a stair that's upside down on the front of that, and then 1 more half slab to finish that off. Then one of the final things we have to do is connect this to the other roof. So go right on ahead and add in a row of spruce wood blocks, and then fill the rest in with your roof material. But anyways guys, that is going to do it for today, and as some of you may have noticed, for this build we did make it a bit more rectangular than normal, especially to start out with, but that was just to kind of provide a bit more room for our interior than we normally do. But I think in the end it definitely turned out quite nice, but you guys will have to let me know down in the comments what you think of it. And you know what, before we head off here, I will give you guys one more little fly around so you can make sure you guys got everything down correctly. And for those of you who maybe just watch the tutorials for inspiration to kind of see the final product and whatnot, hopefully this will show you the build in its entirety. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said, hopefully you did enjoy the video. Make sure and leave your suggestions for either the interior or future builds down in the comments. And as always, I will see you in the next one.